Hey everyone, John Wonderbeard Ministries here. Coming back from quite a bit of time off, I guess you could say. And it wasn't quite intentional, but I want to give you some updates. And I've titled this video, some might say it's kind of clickbait, but it's not. Um, but I want to clarify, I'm not quitting my YouTube channel, but I want to talk about one of the main minute video series that I've done and talk about that I'm quitting it. Before I get into that, though, there's something that I need to mention. And I'm going to start mentioning this in the next couple videos that I'm going to do. I'm going to start posting again uh, quite often if I can. Just some sermon videos, whatever I can do really. And I'll get into that here in a little bit too. But my church has decided that we are going to do our uh, fundraiser for Christmas, along with the ministry fundraiser that I normally do around Christmas time each year. In years past, we did one for Cincinnati Children's, the PICU, and then last year we did one for a shelter here in Cincinnati that was for children, the Haven House, and that was a really good one as well. So we've done some really great things. This one is going to be one where it's a little more hands off. We're not going to be handing off items to anybody or anything. It's simply a fundraiser, but it's the Operation Christmas Child. It's called The Greatest Journey. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending materials over to a different country where they can be able to, number one, receive Christmas presents, but also they're going to be able to receive gospel materials in their own language. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise $1,000, and we've already raised, I think, around $550, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to put my Cash App here on the screen, and if you'd like to donate, you absolutely can. If you have any problem with donating, or if you're worried about if it's legit, I encourage you looking at my previous videos of the past few years where we've done Christmas fundraisers. I prove that I do everything legit, and I do it all through receipts and everything. I will admit I don't have any way really, I think, of doing that this year, only because it's not going to be the same type of thing. I'm not going and buying toys like we were with the Christmas fundraiser for the Cincinnati Children's PICU. And with Haven House, we bought, I think we didn't buy any toy. Well, no, maybe we did buy some toys. I don't remember. No, I don't think so. But we bought mainly like products like deodorant and um like hygiene products and stuff like that. So anyways, so we bought things like that, and so it was very easy to prove that we were spending all the money that actually got raised, whereas this is going to be a massive donation. So I'm going to try and figure out a way that I can prove and show that we're sending all the money that we say we are. Like I said, I think we've raised about 550, if I remember correctly, and that's just been from my own personal donation of $250, and then I think 300 has come from the church so far, like my own church that I pastor. We've already raised 300. So and we've just started with that. So, and we're also doing our own other fundraiser as well with Operation Christmas Child. It's a whole separate thing. So anyways, I wanted to start with that. So like I said, I'll have my Cash App up on the screen at that point, and you can donate there if you'd like to help that ministry. And also you can research it further, Operation Christmas Child, The Greatest Journey, if you'd like to find out more information. Now, let's get into the point of this video. I am quitting the Pray with Players series, and it hurts my heart to actually say that I'm doing that. I'm very disturbed by the fact that I am, but I've got to. I've got to. So if you're unfamiliar with it, let me tell you a little bit about it, and I will go into why I'm quitting it. So for the last, I think, 2 years, I have gone to Reds games, and I have gone where I get in as a season ticket member. And when I get in early, and during the pregame warm-ups, I essentially take a sign that says, "Can I pray with you?" Or "Can I pray for you?" as we did in the first year. And I offer that to the players. It's very simple. I don't force anything. I don't call for them, nothing like that. And when I do that, they can come over, they can pray with me, and I spend a little time talking to them sometimes. And that's very simple, very easy. And then they just sign the sign saying, like, yeah, I got to pray with them. And we record that. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful thing. When it has worked out, it has been wonderful. Some of the players, including like Michael Kopech well, at the time it was the White Sox, he said that was one of the coolest things he saw at a ballpark. Um, Other players had encouraged me so much. Fernando Cruz, man, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who had been involved in it at one point. Fernando Cruz said like he loved it. He gave me some really encouraging words one time during it, and really pushed me to like keep going with it and everything. And that was early on. That was one of the first times we ever done it. And I really liked doing it. So like I said, we go with a sign, and we just hold it up, and it pushes me out of my comfort zone because I am not the type. I don't like being in front of people. I get really nervous. All of that. And you're literally in front of a stadium of people. Yeah, it's not all that full during pregame warmups and everything, but there's still a good amount of people in that ballpark at that time. And you're in front of all of them holding up a sign, and then all of a sudden you're praying with somebody. You look outlandish. You're gonna get noticed. So it's interesting for sure but it's a wonderful testimony. And I've had people come up to me and pray, or ask me to pray with them, both on and off camera. I've had people come up and recognize me from the videos. Thank you to everybody who made that a very popular series on this channel. I've had people ask to get pictures with me and everything because of that series. And everything. It's just been so wonderful. But there's been problems, and let's get into that. So this past year, there has been a lot of changes in life, and there's been a lot of changes at the ballpark. And I want to talk about a couple of these things. So let's start with the changes in life. Number one, I became a pastor officially, not just a preacher, a pastor of a church. And that is definitely pretty demanding. The schedule it's not too bad. It's pretty good, especially, for what I'm doing. The only problem is I also work 2 other jobs on top of that. One of them is not very busy at all right now, but could get busy at any time. And at one point during the season, it was very, very busy. The other job is very consistent, and I work about 3 days a week with that. So, about 2 days with the church, 3 days with that. Yeah. And then the other job, could come up and be busy at any time. So it's pretty full. There's not a lot of time for anything. So, when it comes down to it, and by the way, the church, that's just the 2 days that I'm actually spending like at the church. I'm also obviously always studying, always going to visit people, things like that, things of this nature. So anyways, long story short, um, it's been a really, really busy time. Also, I've been having still some of my health issues that have previously been discussed on the channel. So I'm not going to go too far in depth about that, but it's thrown off some things. And we've also had some difficulty about staying at the ballpark when we've gone to some of these games. In a few examples, we've gone to games and then had to come home because either I've had to work the next day or something about the kids where like they haven't gotten school done yet and they needed to get something done that day or something along those lines. There was some kind of deadline for something and life just proved to be a little too hectic at the time. So there's always something that seems to be going on that impacts us actually getting to stay for the game or, whatever it may be. So there's that. But along with it, then we were going down to these games. We were going down to the pregame part. And I noticed something that during the pregame, half the time, not even half the time. Never once this season when we went to any of these games, which I didn't put out many videos of, which most of you who actually like this series and keep up with the channel probably noticed I didn't post many videos of it because I couldn't use almost any of the footage. The Reds were never out. Now, I actually went and talked to a couple people about this to try and see what was going on. And I was told it was actually at a coaching level. So something around team level where they had decided that they were just going to go and start batting practice every single time early. And there was nothing that could be done about it. They were just doing that. And because of that, even season ticket members who literally, like, that was one of the reasons I became a season ticket member, was to get in early to be able to, like, get to see the players and everything. Yeah, there was nothing they could do, and we were just out. Like, so we didn't get to see the Reds 99% of the time. And when we did, they were literally like coming off the field or about to come off the field at that time. So I had zero chances to even do pray with players with any Reds players at all. It never happened. So, or if it did, it was very, very short and it nothing happened. So yeah, not worth it from that regard. But we did still have some success this year. We managed to get only 3. And that in itself is great. I love getting to do that at all. There was a third the third one is not currently up anywhere. Long story short, I ended up scrapping the whole video because there just wasn't anything to it. Unfortunately, that day my microphones weren't working, and along with it, we we got in last minute. The Astros, actually, we got in on time, but once again, they started batting practice early. The Astros were already halfway through their batting practice. The Reds were already off the field and done, and there was a bullpen catcher by the name of Caleb Nunez who came over and said, "Yeah, I'll come over and I'll pray with you after batting practice is fully done." And he actually gave me a baseball and everything too. Very kind, very nice guy. And sure enough, came over, prayed with me, took a little time, talked to him. So really cool guy. Definitely shout out to him. So that was wonderful. But long story short, so I've made the decision that I'm going to, unless I get confirmation that this is not going to be the case next season, and I don't know, with it being at a team level, how I could get that confirmation. I don't know what that would look like. I don't think I'm going to do it anymore. I don't think it's going to come back next season. So I'm very heartbroken by this, though. I know it may sound a little silly. It's not like this was some series that was getting, like, millions of views or something. But I wasn't doing it for that. I was doing it because it was something that could create like a genuine connection to people. The players really liked it and everything. But the problem is this: I was spending money to get to do this. Um, I was buying the season ticket membership to get to do it. And I was purposely moving my schedule around to try and fit these games in, even at times where it didn't truthfully work. And I just can't see it working next year. I just can't. I don't think my schedule will be free enough. I don't think I can justify the money for it. Not that ministry is ever not worth the money that you'd have to spend. It absolutely is. But considering the lack of result for this year, even though there was 3, and I'm so happy about those 3, I just don't even think I'd be able to get down to the ballpark much next year and everything. So I really am disappointed about that result and everything, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something will work out, but I just don't think so. Um, but I want to say one more time, thank you so much to everybody who watched those videos, who enjoyed those videos, to the people who came up to me at Reds Fest and gave me like I sound so weird saying this, a mini celebrity moment, and were like, "Hey, aren't you the guy from YouTube?" and stuff like that. That was really cool, and like it makes you feel kind of weird, but it like I liked it. Um but I really appreciate all of that, and most importantly, I appreciate the atmosphere that was created, the players enjoying it and everything. And maybe one day we'll get back to it, but I just don't think it's going to be next year. So, anyways, with that, let me mention one last thing and then I'll end this video. With that, the direction of the channel is going to go this way from now on, because that was one of the biggest content things. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to upload sermons. I'm going to get back to that. We're going to have, I think I'm pretty much going to do my weekly sermons of what I do at the church on here. I think I'm just going to upload what we do there here. But I also think I'm going to start a new series, and I think that series is going to be life as a pastor. Not a day in the life of a pastor, because I don't want it to be like a daily vlog thing, but I think it's gonna be like life of a pastor type vlogs, and try and show like some of the ins and outs, like, but try and make it interesting. I don't want it to be like times just like, oh, I sat down to study and like, yeah, that's it. All right, video's over. Like, no, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be times that are like actually genuinely interesting. Like, how did we set up for this event? Like, as a pastor, how did I deal with this or something? Stuff that people might actually be interested in. Like, or how do we deal with like certain questions or anything like that? Um, things along those lines. I'm also trying to think of some other things that we could do. I thought about bringing back Talking Topic Tuesdays, but I don't know if there's the interest for it. If I get comments saying that people would want me to bring it back, I would bring it back. But unless there's that, I'm not going to. Um, so yeah, I just don't know if I'd have the time otherwise. But if there's the interest, I'll do it. So yeah, and I think I will do videos where like if I go to meet somebody like famous or something, and like I get to like witness to them or something, I'll do that here on the channel. Things along those lines, things of that nature, but overall, most importantly, I think I'll start the whole life of a pastor thing in the sermons. Between those two, that's probably going to be it for right now until we get into something else. I might try and cook up something else and we'll figure it out, but I think those two will be kind of interesting and pretty good. So, Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna stop for right now. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate you all sticking with me. I apologize for not uploading for a little while. It's been a crazy ride. Eh, there's been a lot going on. Continue praying for me if you pray for me or if you think of me. Uh, Health issues have definitely been pretty rough recently, so there's that. But yeah, I appreciate you, and God bless you. And I just yeah. Um, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you'd like to donate to the Operation Christmas Child, definitely. I'll put the Cash App one more time right here, somewhere here. And yeah, I think that'll end it. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next one.